All right, let's get right into it. There's a good chance your website is costing you millions, and you might not even realize it. Today, we're going to dig into some hard data from WebBoost and show you exactly how a slow website can silently kill your business, literally 1 millisecond at a time.
So, let's kick things off with a question. It might sound a little abstract at first, but trust me, the answer is very, very real, and for a lot of businesses out there, it's a really expensive one. So, what do you think? How much is just 1 second of your website's load time actually worth?
Okay, get ready for this. For your average mid-sized e-commerce business, the answer is $2.5 million. That's not a typo. $2.5 million in lost revenue. And that's every single year, all because of a tiny 1 second delay.
So yeah, that's a huge number. Let's break down how we even get there. We're about to dive into the real measurable cost of making your customers wait, and you're going to see why in today's world, every single millisecond really, really matters.
Check this out. Over half, 53% to be exact, of all your visitors on a mobile phone will just leave. They'll abandon your site if it takes more than 3 seconds to load. 3 seconds! That's it! That is the razor-thin line between making a sale and losing a customer forever.
And you know, this isn't some new discovery. The big players, like Amazon, they figured this out ages ago. They found that for every 100 milliseconds of delay, that's a tenth of a second, it cost them 1% in sales. Now, when you're Amazon, those tiny little fractions of a second, well, they add up to billions.
And look, the data from thousands of other websites, it tells the same story. There's a super clear pattern. For every single second of delay, your conversion rate takes a 7.1% hit. And on mobile, oof, it's even worse, a 9.4% drop. That's money just vanishing from your bottom line, second by second.
Okay, so the big question is, what's actually causing these slowdowns? What are the culprits? Let's meet them. We're about to dissect a slow website and find the main speed killers that are hiding in your code. Now, what's really interesting here is that it's not like there are a million little problems. It's actually a few big ones causing most of the damage. And as you can see, the #1 offender by a long shot is unoptimized images. We're talking a whopping 42% of the problem right there.
So let's just spell it out. Here are your top 3 speed killers. Number 1, like we said, unoptimized images. These are just giant image files that have no business being on a web page. Then you've got render blocking resources. That's basically just code that forces your page to stop and wait. And third is poor caching, which is just a fancy way of saying your website makes returning visitors download everything all over again every single time they visit. Super inefficient.
Okay, so that's the problem. But the good news is we know how to fix it. And it's probably not as complicated as you're thinking. Let's walk through the modern playbook for getting your website's performance back on the right track.
Really, you've got 2 main ways to go about this. There's the old way, manual optimization. You hire developers, they fix things one by one. But it's like patching a leaky bucket. As soon as you add new stuff to your site, it starts slowing down again. Then there's the modern way, automated systems. These things work 24/7 to keep your site fast. And the numbers don't lie. We're talking a 457% better ROI. That's a no-brainer. And these days, the whole process is ridiculously simple. Seriously. You basically add one little snippet of code to your site. Then, an AI takes over, applies like 15+ different optimizations all on its own. And you just get to sit back and watch your performance metrics shoot up in real time. You don't have to be a tech genius at all.
And here's why this is so critical for your marketing. Google itself uses these technical speed metrics, they're called Core Web Vitals, to decide how high to rank you. But these aren't just some random tech specs. Each one directly connects to a real business result, whether that's fewer people leaving your site, customers spending more money, or more people filling out your contact forms.
All right, so let's get to the fun part. What actually happens when you nail this? Let's look at the incredible, totally measurable results you get from a super fast website. This is the payoff we've been talking about.
First things first, people actually stick around. We saw one B2B company focus only on speed, and their bounce rate, you know, the number of people who show up and immediately leave, it dropped by a massive 32%. Think about that. That's a third more potential customers who are actually staying to see what you're all about.
And it's simple math, right? When more people stick around, more people buy stuff. The case studies are super clear on this. Better site speed equals higher conversion rates. This chart right here, it's showing a 17% increase. That means 17% more sales, more leads, more money, all from just being faster. And this next one,
is a huge deal, especially if you rely on people finding you through Google. A fast site is basically an SEO superpower. If you fail Google speed tests, your search ranking can drop by almost 4 spots. 4! That's often the difference between being on the first page and being completely invisible.
So it all comes down to this one last question you have to ask yourself. Is your website an engine for growth, pushing your business forward? Or is it an anchor, just silently dragging down your sales, your search rankings, and your overall success? The data couldn't be clearer. The choice is really up to you.